Just a few very, very brief comments, hopefully set the stage for some of the discussion. It is very commonplace these days to be thinking in terms of all of the challenges and the difficulties that we have, and in the context of all of the so-called reform efforts that are going on in Washington and around state capitals. It is sometimes some people get the feeling that it's time to get depressed and concerned and wonder how it is we deal with all of this. And I, however, take a different view of the world. I think this is a time that is extraordinarily exciting. I think this can be an exhilarating period of time for us over the next couple of years. And I think it can be exceptionally exhilarating and exciting if we believe in a couple of things. And I think they're important in many ways. They're like the guiding posts and the guidelines that should direct us as we move forward. I think it's exciting if we believe that all challenges are opportunities in disguise, that behind every challenge is a wonderful opportunity. And what we have to be thinking about doing is identifying those opportunities and taking advantage of them, and not always only be worrying about the challenge itself. It's exciting, I believe, if we understand that we're always shaped by outside influences. Things happen to us, but we should never be defined by them. We, in many ways, determine our own futures to a very, very large extent, especially the types of people that are in this room. It is also exciting if we resist being defenders of the status quo, or, as somebody said, being prisoners of precedent. We cannot live in the past, and we have got to think about how we move forward and create a new world in the future. It's also very, very exciting if we always look at everything we do through the eyes of the patient and through the eyes of the people we serve, not necessarily through the eyes of the professions we represent. Professional autonomy is wonderful, but doesn't always necessarily work when you look at things through the eyes of the patient/consumer, increasingly becoming more of a consumer than a patient. It's also exciting if we understand that in the future, we have to demonstrate increased value. We have to be advocates for transparency. We have to reduce fragmentation of care. We have to improve the coordination of care. We have to promote an ongoing culture of quality and safety throughout all of the organizations that we represent and lead. And it's also extremely exciting, I believe, if we understand that reform eventually depends upon what we do in our own organizations and at the local level. It is not only the province of the federal government or the state governments. They will do things, will be affected by them, but how we react and how we create our own futures, how we respond, and how we take initiative, how we become innovative, will be real healthcare reform. If we wait around for the federal government to reform healthcare and see ourselves as spectators in that game, it will fail. It will not be reform. And it's exciting if we understand, leading into the topics we'll be discussing over the next number of hours, if we understand that little of any of the above is possible if we don't build the transformational leadership capabilities within our own organizations. If we don't create leaders, provide opportunities for entrepreneurship within our own organizations, provide the opportunities and create a learning environment for all of our employees, create leaders at every part of our organizations, not just at the top, but through the middle and at the bottom. And that's what the work of NCHL is all about, is providing some of the tools, some of the opportunities for us to access and understand those leadership opportunities and those leadership capabilities.